because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters.
We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities.
6 new lawsuits have been filed in Manhattan federal court against Sean Diddy Combs.
Clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music. And that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous. And everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job.
P. Diddy Combs. Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both.
That's me and MJ, baby.
Yep.
That's me and MJ chilling.
When was that taken, do you know?
That was taken like maybe 6 years ago. He came to one of my parties.
Right.
So if he could come, you could have came to one of the parties.
What, well, and did you work together, the two of you?
No, I met him and we were gonna start doing some work together, and you know, just the schedules conflicted a little bit, because you know, Mike would talk to you about doing something and then he'll move to another country or something. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, and then one day I didn't even invite Mike to the party. Mike just showed up at the party. And guess what he was looking for? I'm in the party, I'm hosting, you know, I'm being the hostess with the mostest and everything, and then, you know, the security, they come up to me, they say, Mr. Combs, Mr. Michael Jackson is here to see you. I'm like, get out of here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So then I go and I find Mike. I'm like, Mike, what's up? What you doing here? Yeah. Thanks for coming. And then so I get him a booth. We go to the booth. We start chit-chatting. And so right there, he has his arm, bring that up so they can see his arm around me. But then you don't see the shot of him whispering in my ear. Right after the shot was taken, he whispers in my ear. He says, where's Beyonce?
Really?
He came to the party to holler at Beyonce. This was before Jay-Z, though, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He came to the party to holler at Beyonce, finds her, and dances with Beyonce in the party.
Cool. This is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles, physically assaulted by Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically.
Sean Diddy Combs is locked up in a federal jail that has been plagued by harsh conditions and violence. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn has seen multiple deaths in recent years. An inmate was stabbed to death in July, and several others have died by suicide. It's these reasons, among others, that Combs' lawyers are fighting to get him out of there. They want him released on bail rather than being kept in jail while he awaits trial on sex trafficking charges. Combs is just the latest high-profile defendant to be locked up at MDC Brooklyn.
It's not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year. at one point. So when you see him go to De Leon is when you see him have some issues. And they not. It gets bad. You know, and these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. You know what I mean? Like, you look, when you go to the spirits businesses, it's not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Centauria and Diageo, the distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the numbers, the right numbers, the amount. So it's kind of like they incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling.
But I felt very, very good because I knew the size of the lady game. Yeah. No Diddy, Pete, pause now. I'm just saying. I just knew cause you know, I know they just waiting on you. We knew I'm talking about in basketball terms. Don't y'all be going this. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just the one time. I'm saying it for Ocho and I on Nightcap. No Diddy. We knew the lady Gamecocks were too big for the Iowa Hawkeyes. That size, 6'7" Cardosa. You had Watkins.
But one former warden who worked at the facility says Combs' life could still be in danger there. And that former warden is Cameron Lindsay, and she joins me now. Cameron, great to have you here. We just read it out loud. One lawyer for one inmate called it the MDC overcrowded and understaffed, hell on earth. Combs' own lawyers called it horrific. Why are conditions so bad there?
Well, it's been a number of years since I've been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, but what I can tell you is New York City, being the biggest, most populated city in America, the MDC has a difficult time recruiting and retaining staff. So one of the key issues is the lack of staffing. And it would be unfair for me not to mention that the vast majority of MDC staff are hardworking, salt of the earth, well-trained people. I know many of them. They're fantastic people. Unfortunately, however, there has been a disproportionate element of corruption within the ranks of
every name the man ever used. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. PD, a.k.a. Love. I would just like to note here that I do not remember the PD era. That is number one. And number two, shockingly, for those of us who are old enough to remember when he was Puffy, Puffy did not make this. And it appears Puffy did not make this, I guess because he stopped calling himself Puffy way before the allegations in the paperwork. And basically what they are saying is that up until 2008, there was this dude that by and large was like a record company executive. And in 2008, he turned into Mr. Hand.
Are you drinking, Chloe? No. You have to get these margaritas
Chloe,
out of here. Why aren't you drinking? Yeah,
but last night. She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't? I want to be Chloe when I grow up, Court.
Oh, you're just so little.
Like my balls are just going.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
Yeah.
Very first time.
Yeah, I have an island. This is just for inspirational motivation and uses only. You know what I'm saying? You don't know a lot of black men that come from the hood that got an island. I got an island, it's called Love Island. So when I took you to Love Island, and then you realize that, you know, the plane landed and then we had to float to another island. What was going through your head when we were going there?
I was like, I'm gonna go to war by this nigga, he mad.
What was your favorite time that I took you off the grid? When you going off the grid with me, you got to go to sleep for a week.
Yeah, because it's definitely giving us sleep.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest the guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
Holy smokes, you're not going to believe this, but there is, in fact, a Diddy and Michael Jackson connection. Yes, the lawsuit that we have been covering and following, so much being revealed. You're not going to believe that somehow it is connected to Michael Jackson and his death. And I gotta be honest, I'm kind of terrified. I think this is gonna be the last day that I cover it because we're getting close to something that is very dangerous. All right, so I wasn't kidding at the top, guys. I am probably not going to cover this anymore because it is definitely getting a bit terrifying. Obviously, we covered this. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch. I believe it was Monday's episode. But yes, the Diddy lawsuit is absolutely crazy. Full stop. What if I told you guys that it is about to get even crazier, that there is directly a link to Michael Jackson's death? I want to be clear that when everything was going on with Michael Jackson, the lawsuits, his death, I thought that we were in full conspiracy theory territory when people were saying that Michael Jackson was killed. I actually know a lot of people that are in the industry who believe that Michael Jackson was killed. And I just thought it just sounds too whacked out.
Pray for the young people. You know what this is. It's not a game. And please understand very clearly, there is zero woosah moments. Me talking about situations for over more than a decade and a half. And then all of a sudden everybody woke up like, whoa, yo, we thought you were crazy. Yeah, I am crazy. I'm crazy to tell a mother on 3 forms of public transportation across a bridge to get to work to support me that, hey, I may have to pass on these opportunities for scholarships because I'm going to write a song and we're going to eat for the rest of our lives. That's crazy. But what I am not is a liar. That I'm not. All I did was give the science. I was ignored, laughed at, ridiculed, things of that nature. But that's okay. My God is so much bigger than my God got me. And I got you.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you got to do that. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
We now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. And I want to focus on the ages of these victims. When you talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct.
Today we're talking about the big news between 2 of the biggest stars in hip-hop, Diddy and Jay-Z. Their friendship has captivated people for over a decade. And it's not just because they were both extremely successful in the music business, it's also because they seem to represent something much bigger. They became symbols of wealth, power, and influence that changed not just hip-hop but the entire entertainment business. Diddy and Jay-Z had very modest beginnings. They weren't born into fame or wealth. They had to work extremely hard to get to where they are now, starting their own music companies and becoming major businesses. They were no longer just musicians, they were now idols, admired not just for their songs but also for the things they had made. They shaped a generation's sound, influenced fashion, and led the music business, but today things have drastically changed. You heard correctly, Jay-Z is currently speaking in court against his longtime friend Diddy. The world is closely watching Jay-Z's statements against Diddy to understand why this isn't simply a straightforward legal dispute but rather a friendship that appears to be deteriorating, leaving us all to wonder what could have gone so wrong between these two influential individuals. Their story goes way back to when both of them were climbing to the top in the early 2000s. Back then, they were often seen working together. Whether it was in the studio or performing at concerts, they also attended the biggest events together. There were so many pictures of them laughing and having fun, making fans believe that they were really close. It seemed like they were more than just business partners, they were friends who truly enjoyed each other's company. Even Beyoncé, who was rising to fame as a solo artist around the same time, was often seen with. And they all seemed like a powerful trio. Remember the 2004 MTV Video Music Awards? That's where Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé all walked the red carpet together. They were dressed to impress and showed off their star power. That night became iconic and fans couldn't get enough of them. It felt like they were on top of the world, and nothing could break their bond. As the years went on, Diddy and Jay-Z became business partners too. They didn't just make music together, they were also involved in other businesses, from high-end clubs to charity work. These two were always working on something new. One of the most famous moments was in 2010 when Diddy helped Jay-Z celebrate the 10th anniversary of his 44th club. That night wasn't just about a party, it was a celebration of their success. They even showed up together at the 2013 Met Gala looking like they were unstoppable. It wasn't just public events that brought them together. In 2011, they went on vacation together in the Caribbean. Imagine chilling on luxury yachts and living the high life. That's what they were doing. It was more proof that they weren't just eras business partners, they were close friends who shared their personal lives too. They hosted private dinner parties, inviting other A-list celebrities into their inner circle. Jay-Z's Rock Nation and Diddy's Bad Boy Entertainment collaborated on some of the most popular music collaborations and events of the 2000s. Their influence was undeniable. They weren't just influencing the music business, they were changing it forever. Diddy would visit Jay-Z's home in Los Angeles, where they would hang out with Hollywood's biggest stars. This wasn't just a casual friendship, it was a family based on years of shared history, success, and trust in the business world. Diddy publicly supported Jay-Z's Sean Carter Foundation, which gives education to underprivileged children, and Beyoncé's Be Good initiative, which addresses problems like disaster relief and education. Both men were not only great businessmen, they were also contributing to their communities. However, despite their success, there were always rumors of conflict in the entertainment business. World egos can clash, and creative differences occur frequently. There have been rumors of conflicts between their teams. But despite everything the media said, Diddy and Jay-Z always seemed to work things out, whether it was by continuing their business deals or making another public appearance together. For years, it seemed like nothing could split them, but now things are different. The big question on everyone's mind for months is what Jay-Z will say when he takes the stand in court. Many are asking what led Jay-Z to this point and whether he knows more about Diddy's legal problems than he does. Diddy has made news for all the wrong reasons, including many cases and grave abuse claims. Jay-Z's involvement in the case has given a whole new level of drama to the 6 new lawsuits that have been filed in Manhattan, accusing Diddy of some pretty stunning things. Some fans are even questioning whether Diddy's career will be destroyed by Jay-Z's statement. As usual, theories have been circulating on the internet. According to others, Jay-Z was aware of Diddy's alleged behavior for years, but chose to stay silent in order to safeguard his own image. In March 2024, things took a drastic turn when federal agents raided Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles and found evidence that made the accusations against him even more serious. While some believe Jay-Z is testifying now to escape being dragged into the scandal, the truth is that Jay-Z's testimony is sure to shake things up. Let's not forget how close Diddy and Jay-Z used to be over the years, working together on so many different business projects and collaborations. They built empires together, and their relationship went beyond music. According to reports, they even found video footage from a 2016 hotel lift that may have shown Diddy engaging in illegal activity. This footage has received a lot of attention and raised questions about whether Diddy's empire is finally collapsing. Meanwhile, Jay-Z has stayed silent in public but is reportedly preparing to testify behind closed doors. It appears that Jay-Z is trying to protect himself while being cautious about what he says. Some think this could backfire on him. Even some of Diddy's most ardent fans are moving away from him. His honorary degree from Howard University has been removed. Diddy's media venture, Revolt TV, is struggling as sponsors withdraw out, and big brands like Dio, which collaborated with Diddy on Rock Vodka, have canceled their partnerships with him. This is no longer simply a legal dispute, it's a fight for life. Diddy's career may be permanently ended if Jay-Z's testimony shows more devastating evidence against him. But some people are unsure if Jay-Z will also suffer if it turns out that Jay-Z was aware of Diddy's actions. fans will turn against him as well. And as the trial draws nearer, more information will surely surface. What looked to be an unbreakable friendship between two of the biggest names in hip-hop has suddenly devolved into a courtroom. Stay tuned, because this story is far from done. Showdown. This case has the potential to completely change not only Diddy and Jay-Z's lives, but the music business as a whole. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this movie if you want to stay up to speed on all the latest updates. Remember to enable alerts so you don't miss any new news.